Good morning, Flosstube. It is Helen D. I am filming on Monday, November 17th. It's a little brighter today. Not a whole lot because it snowed already. I think Emmy might have just slunk by. The cats were in hiding this morning because the piano tuner was here, so I didn't know if you'd see them. She thinks things are very sus. She's slinking around, so we'll see what she's up to today. Yeah, so it's my regular bi-monthly, every 2 week update. I have lots of things to show. Couple fully finishes, couple finishes, handful of whips, the usual stuff. Thank you. The last 2 videos. You guys love turkeys. I love turkeys. I love stitching turkey things because the colors to me are a little darker than a lot of your fall pieces. And this time of year in New England, that's what it looks like. The bright leaves have turned to brown, crunchy leaves, and things are just a little darker than the bright fall that you're used to. So I think that's one of the reasons why I'm drawn to a lot of the turkey pieces. And turkeys are fun to stitch. And last week I did the video on the tools, and that seemed to be helpful. People liked that, so that's out there. Yeah, other than that, I've just been doing regular stuff. I had to do some deadline stitching. Remember a few videos ago when I said, oh, I can get through this, and this by the end of the year? Nope, that won't be happening. So I had a few deadline things that I thought, I better do these first, and then we'll see what we can get to. And then I had a surprise new start, which turned into a surprise finish, so that's good. It was small, so we'll talk about that. So we'll start off with the 2 fully finishes. They're the same. Philanthropic pumpkin. Jen and Carol, 2 tall stitchers, they have issued a challenge. They've thrown down a challenge, and it's the big girl pants challenge, where you're like, I gotta just put on my big girl pants and tackle something that has been intimidating me. And that was this. So Donna and I both got the kit when they came out. So she had finished hers, I finished mine. I fully finished them on the same day. So this is the one that unfortunately is no longer available. I did mine a smidge different. The kit comes with rickrack to pull on, but I decided to do a herringbone stitch. And then I didn't use, there was some rusty wire. I didn't use that because I didn't want the rust rubbing off on everything else when I store it. So this one is mine. Mine is on a 32 count white or antique white Lugana. The template on the inside is for a 32 or 16. It's called to be finished a little tighter so that some of it actually kind of gets cut off, but it said even right in the directions, right? If you don't want that, just make your circle a little bigger. So that's what I did. So that one is mine. And then Donna's, hers is on a 16 count in Ada. I don't know what the fabric was, but she picked. It's kind of a super pale blue-gray. It's really nice. It actually, it matches the oranges really nice. So I did the same thing, right? She had the same, because she had the kit, it's the same fabric that came with the bottom. So there's hers. Oh, I didn't get her a water, and here she comes, so I guess I just sacrificed mine, although it's only a half cup. I don't know if she can shove her face down in there that far. Yes, she can. That one is unavailable, but Cathy Haberman did just put out the Murder in the Garden. It's a different one with crows, and she has a finishing walkthrough on her blog, and they're finished very much the same way. It would give you the same look. She uses a real pumpkin stem with that. This one is wire wrapped in twill tape. So that's the difference. She did not. So that water is still available for me. She's sniffing around. So those were my 2 fully finishes. I put on my big girl pants, and they weren't that bad. The hardest part was when I was finished going, like you kind of go up and down through the middle to make the little bumps, and you have to pull tight and make a knot. I could have used a third hand to hold it tight and make the knot, but I got it done. So there's those. Then I'm like, all right, my deadline stitching. I signed up for 2 classes at the Jingle Ball. It's November 17th. Time to get cracking. So I finished my pairs. I don't even have a cover sheet. This is the pairs, the Annie B's Christmas pairs. The class piece was 3 pairs, but then when you got it, there was actually a bonus 4th pair. I didn't stitch the bonus pair. 2 reasons. I had to move on to my next thing, and I didn't have enough of that color floss. So I used Picture This Plus Tango and Antique Lace. Classic Colorworks, and Antique Lace. This was a full skein, so 5 yards, and I had to go, I went on to the 3rd yard to finish one, so I knew I wouldn't have enough for the horse, because that one's a little bigger too. So I have Noel and Joy, and then this one is just the leaves. And I had room for the 4th one, but I didn't do it. So those are ready to go. My other finish was my surprise start finish. So I was over killing time when my son was at tennis, and I popped into TJ Maxx. Last year, TJ Maxx had spools, wooden spools that had ribbon on them in the holidays. So I was trying to see if they would have any again this year. They do. And I was looking for a specific size, and it was kind of a short, wide spool. So this is the one I got. It's Martha Stewart. There's the code. So when I got this, there's a bunch of different size spools. What I kind of had to do to see how wide the spool was really kind of shove my finger down in there under the ribbon until I could kind of hit the inside, because it's 10 yards of ribbon. This one, because it's short ribbon, the spool is wider because the ribbon takes up less room, right? They have a bunch with a wide ribbon, but 10 yards of wide ribbon only wraps around once, so the inside of the spool is kind of small. So I got home. This is what it looks like without the ribbon. So it's nice, right? It was a nice wide spool. I was specifically looking for something that was like 1.5 inches, which is just about when this one is, to do, where to put them? Hands-On Design and Summer House Stitchworks has their series, That's a Wrap, and I don't own any of them yet, except this one because it was in a book. There's something else in this book. So in their Between Friends, this was the fall book. They did this was the first time they did their That's a Wrap. So it's a long ribbon, basically, that then you tie around some pillows. And I thought I would rather finish that on a spool. So I've been keeping an eye out for some spools. So I have those. Same book. They have these little, the pumpkins, which I want to make as pumpkins, but those would also work. So what I had to do was measure my spool and figure out, right, what's my usable space? And on mine, I think I figured it to be 1.25 inches, and then I'd have room like for the finishing. And then I measured the circumference, and I figured out my stitch counts, and I don't remember what it was, but it was like 18 or 19 by like 115 would get me around the spool. So some of those designs I will have to shorten a little bit because they're longer than that. Then I thought, I have all kinds of other charts that have really cool borders on them. Any of those would work. So I went through my charts and I found this one, which I've had a long time. It's Peaceful Woodlands from Erica Michaels. Now I bought this for the berries. But the sampler, if it's a sampler, the big chart, I love that board with the deer, there's rabbit, and the trees. So I measured it out. And if I took out one tree, it would fit. So I did rearrange a little bit because the bunny's over here and the deer is over here. And I wanted them both to kind of be seen on the front, so I moved them closer. So here's what I ended up with. I took this giant piece of fabric and I just stitched in the bottom corner. So I just pulled colors. It's a light blue 32 count Lugana, which is what I needed for it to fit. And a dark blue, a medium, like 2 greens, no blues, 2 greens, a bunny color, a deer color, like I just kind of picked. So it's kind of hard to show because it's not cut down. But that's why that had so many wrinkles in it. The goal is right, you kind of will have a little strip and then it will go right on your spool. And then I will use, honestly, I could have fit that last tree in there because I'm going to have room on the back. That's fine. I'm not sure how I'm going to attach them yet. If I want to go buttons like I've done my other spools, if I want to try some kind of elastic that hooks on a button, that's a future problem. So that's just an idea that, you know, you don't have to buy something. You can just use something you have. The piece that was in here that fell out was another one I thought might be good. It's actually another Erica Michaels. Leafy Sidewalks, right? It has all those cool borders. So the other one that has a bunch of cool borders is Stitchy Princess on Etsy. She has really fun borders on a lot of her charts. A lot of them have animals in them. She has one with deer. She has one with hedgehogs. So she has a lot of designs that have a border, and the border is really cool. That would fit. So I'll link her below. I always love supporting her. She's in Ukraine. So that is what I finished. That blue Lugana shed everywhere. So new starts. New starts and whips. That was my only, no, I had another new start because it was for the class. Okay, hey, big milestone. Real comfort. I filled in that brown. I filled in the brown. And then I thought, while it's here, don't move the Q-snap yet. Just put some windows in and do what you can reach and then move it. So I filled in the brown and I have one window frame. But it did get a little love. A lot of people have been working on it, and you know, I'm gonna start Winter Moon, which is another giant plum street, so this one needed some attention. It got a little big. This is the one for the snow globes. I don't have a color picture for this either. Do I even have a picture? Nope. This is the snow globe class with Liz Matthews. And the way this one is there's like 21 different small motifs, and you can pick the ones you want, and then you use them to make a snow globe. So here's an example from Liz Matthews' Instagram. Right. A lot of people have probably seen this. So I'm actually doing that tree. I'm trying to decide. I'm trying to do one that's not overly Christmas, because I'll probably only get one done this year if I'm being realistic, and I'd like it to be able to be out in winter. So there's that one with the snowman, and then there's a really cool one with a reindeer, and I'm trying, or just a deer, doesn't have to be a reindeer. I'm trying to decide what little motifs I want. I'm a little leery of the snowman because you're stitching white on white, and that doesn't seem fun. That's it. There's a lot of stitching in that tree. I had to just put it on a little dirge. I'm using a scrap of 32 count white or antique white. The holes are supposed to be filled in with white. I might put beads on there. I haven't decided. So slowly plugging away to get that done by class. What do I have, 2 weekends? We'll see. We'll see. My other deadline stitching is my son's ornament, which has a lot more stitches in it than I thought it would. This is the Magic the Gathering cube that I'm making him. That will all origami up. I think it goes this way. So I have two things up here. This is the center. I got one at the sides done. So I have one here and one there. And then I have to backstitch, because I'm gonna sew it up through the backstitch like you do like a biscorning. So that got some love. I think I'm at 60%. So I'm getting there. That one's done on a 25 count Vintage Stormy Night Lugana. You're not even gonna see it, but I didn't want a white in case it kind of showed through. I thought a darker color would be better for the finish, but I didn't want to stitch on black. I didn't want to stitch black on black any more than I want to stitch white on white. So that's as far as I got. I have been working on the holiday house from Satsuma Street. The final part came out. I am way behind. And actually, this is why I'm like, you know what? I'm way behind. I'm not even keeping up anymore. It'll get done when it gets done. What else is calling me? Work on that. So here's the full piece. It's gorgeous. I really like the top. That's the top section. I'm over here. Isn't it cute? And I really like how this one is very like symmetrical on top. The Monster House, I added some bats just because to my eye, I needed it a little more symmetrical on top. So this one I can do as is. There's my bear. I did this roof. It took forever. I don't even know if I had finished this with you guys last time. I don't remember. I did this roof. I started the bear. He's holding a stocking. It's only a foot. So I have a lot of stitching left in this, but that's fine. I can work on it in December. The one that has been calling me, that I just put the most in, is T is for Turkey from Heartstring Sampler. This is this year's turkey stitch. T is for Turkey, Heartstring Sampler. I did tweak a couple colors. I think we talked about this last time. I chose a blue for this, and I just picked 2 greens. I picked Weeks Collards, and I used pine needles, Classic Color Works. That was called for. So, oh, and I used white. These little berries and stuff. The called for color just didn't show up. So here's where I am. Let me move my awesome turkey needle minder from the Crafty Grimalkin. 28 count Springfield Sage Lugana, which I believe is a Witchelt. So there we are. Look at my awesome turkey. I really like the blue I picked. What else did I change? Oh, these berries. These berries, we're close up now. Those were called to be just a set of 4 stitches. Typically when I do a set of 4 stitches like that, I do a Smyrna cross stitch just because it adds a little dimension. When I did the drawn thread piece for our swap, it called for a Rhodes stitch, R-H-O-D-E-S. And I had to look it up, how to do it. And I found a rounded Rhodes stitch that I liked better because it looked circular, rounded. So I did that on that piece, and I'm like, I'm gonna do that on this piece. And they're meant to be in the darker of the reds, and I did them in the lighter. I love the colors. Again, it's that deeper, like the darker fall colors. So I have little turkey legs. These are the babies. And then the mom goes here, and just a couple more leaves. I can safely say this will be done the next time we have a chat, because that's what's been calling me. So that's what I've been working on. And that is all my working on stuff. Plus my spools. Get those out of here. Alrighty. Purchases. I had one thing come in the mail, and that is I'm in the Just Another Button Company Folk Floral Button Club. And this one is Autumn Acorn. Comes in these cute tins. These are seasonal, and the reason I was getting them is they have their folk floral buttons, which are these, the flowers that you sew through the holes with like a bright yellow or a different color fabric to kind of look like, you know, the inside of a flower. So this kit had like purples, and they're not all those, right? There's some regular Jabco, like here's a crow. And then a bunch of just similar colored regular buttons. So there's one more that will come out, I think in January or February, and that will be kind of the winter one, and then I'll probably end the club because I'll have had a tin for each season. I haven't used any yet, in case you're wondering. Yeah, that's all I bought. I got the coolest gift. My friend Kat was up last week. We went out to lunch. She is the one that I finished the Jaws stand-up with the shark fin. So I finally was able to give it back to her because we didn't dare put it in the mail. So she came in and she gave me this cool gift. It's big. So it is I don't even know what you'd call it. A peg holder display. It's from IKEA, which is cool. We don't even have an IKEA in Maine. So it's a tree. So it comes all folded up, and then you open it up. Right, there's the top. And it holds 24. It has 24 pegs. So I told her it was funny because I had been looking or thinking of something like this. I've seen these like on Pinterest, right? And people hang Christmas ornaments from them. I thought it would be cool to hang the Satsuma Street 12 Days of Christmas, the perforated paper ornaments. I have 2 of them stitched. She's only on number 6. They're not even out yet. So I'll put some other things on there. And she said, I thought it would look good back there. It would look good back there. And then she gave me a cute little bag with some Mill Hills, because Mill Hills would just be really great on there. So these little birds, this cute kitty, and a chicken. So thank you, Kat. I'll have John figure out how to put that up there. He'll be thrilled. Yeah. I don't know if there is a UPC. I don't know. I don't know how they do their stuff because we don't have one. But there's that, if that's helpful. So that's that. Couple things. Purple Paper Mountain, the one that I got the fuzzy trims, has restocked. So if you weren't able to get them last time, or that she didn't have all the colors you were looking for, she has restocked. I'll link her Etsy shop below. Yeah, the ones I was getting was the Prim chenille. That's the like a thick eyelash chenille, the Prim chenille. And Carla from Cobweb Corner, if you follow her on Instagram or Facebook or any places, she's going out of business. So she started to have some closeout sales, and she currently is doing 20% off orders over $25, and that's 20% off everything. Floss, memorabilia, bead packs, Kreinik, right? Like anything, needle minders, anything she's got. When you hit $25 in your cart, 20% off. And she said that will be like another, she's gonna close the shop on November 24th because they're going on a trip. So if you get your order in before then, it will ship before they go. And then she'll start back up when they get back. So just a heads up for all your shopping needs. And then we just have giveaways. So I have 2 last calls. Cathy Berry for this one, and Angela West was a gift card to Cobweb Corner. Then we have the last week's. Hold on, they're out of order. Number 1, Dreaming Mrs. Claus, Linda Norris. Number 2 was Gathering Holly, Stacy Aylesworth, Aylesworth. Number 3, Noel, Bethany Rutta. And number 4, must have been this one, Let It Snow, Jack and Sheila Weber, probably Sheila Weber. So I will put down below people who need to contact me. My email address is there. Shoot me an email. Let me know which one you won and your mailing address, and I will get them out. And I will say stuff like this, the bigger ones, I got like 3 more weeks, and then I'm not going in the post office till the end of the year. So those ones I have to mail from the post office. So for this week, we have from Carla at Cobweb Corner, number 1 will be a $10 gift card to Cobweb Corner. Number 2 is We Santa. 2021. This is a heart and hand. So this is number 2. And then I grabbed a couple seasonal Past the Stash. Number 3 is A Little House, Jingle All the Way. And this one does have just on the back a smidge of writing, write some notes, but that's it. Jingle All the Way. And number 4 is another Primrose, White Christmas. These really cute ornaments. So, just leave the numerical number of the ones you're interested in your comment. You have to be 18 so you can legally give me your address. Don't say win or giveaway or all those troll words. And we will announce names. I use the random comment picker, and we'll do that the next video. Next week, I should have a tutorial, fingers crossed, on flat ornaments with a rounded top. Arched flats? I'm not sure what you call them. Flat ornaments with a rounded top. So that's the goal for that. And then in December, I thought I would go weekly updates again. I did that last year, and I have the Advent box from Historical Sampler Company that I showed what was in that and just kind of did smaller check-ins in December. That was fun. Historical Sampler, it's in the mail, so I don't have it to show you, but they have a new stitch along starting January 1st, I believe, and I believe it's open. Let's see. Nope, it's Winter Wonderland SAL, which I clicked on the wrong thing, so now I gotta make that one load. Yeah, it is open for pre-orders. And you're right, it's a mystery SAL, so where's the front page? So here's the little sneak peek. That's the sneak peek they showed. I'll link that below too if you're interested. It says, celebrates the winter season with a traditional sampler feel. Think snowy winter walks through crisp pine forests with the added delight of winter woodland creatures. Can't go wrong there. So I'll have that information. I think that's it. I hope those of you that celebrate Thanksgiving have a nice Thanksgiving. Next week it will be super quiet here. It always is. It's just the 3 of us. I'll probably make meatballs. That's usually what we eat on Thanksgiving. And beef meatballs, because then I can have like green bean casserole. for me because no one else will eat it. Oh well, more for me. I make a small one. Yeah, I'll see you guys hopefully with that tutorial next week, and then regular update the week after that. So until then, I hope you guys have a good week. Bye.